First question then, please, to Mel Farrell.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, Davey. Just want to ask you about the relationship that you seem to have instantly struck up with the Pakistan fans. You seem to have such a knack for being able to connect with crowds around the world, but how has this been different?
Yeah, thanks, Mel. I think, from my point of view is we're entertainers as well. So I think, if I'm not playing out in the middle where I'm batting and I'm fielding, I like to obviously get everyone involved and, get the crowd up and going. And that's what I've always tried to do, engage with the fans. And they're the most important people in our game. They come and support us. And, we try and put on entertainment if we can. And, I just love getting involved. And, first time, obviously, for me over here, we haven't been here in over 2 decades. And I think it's important to engage with the fans, not just from a cricketing point of view, but from a point of view from where we sit. They follow us on Instagram. They come out to the ground. They support us there. And it's important for us to give back.
Tom Decent, please.
Hi, Dave. Just before we get on to some cricket, just wanted to get your reaction to the news of Shane Warne's passing. I understand you're one of the first few guys to find out. Sort of your best sort of Warney story, I guess. And obviously there's a state funeral looking like March 30, whether you might be trying to get back for that.
Oh, sorry, was that about Shane? Just the reception.
Yeah, so I was asking you about Shane, just your reaction to that.
Okay,
and his state funeral is going to be on March 30. So I presume you'll be back in Oz by then. Maybe you're going to try and go to that, and just your thoughts on his passing.
Yeah, look, 100%. I'll be trying to get down there. Obviously, it still hasn't really sunk in. I think just for one, obviously he was in Thailand and he was away from pretty much everyone that he's close to. When we first found out, we thought it was a joke. Like, Shane's passed away. Like it really didn't sink in at all. And as I said, it still hasn't. Obviously, he from my point of view, as a kid, I had his poster up on my wall. I wanted to be like Shane. I started my career early on by leg spin, batting middle order. We idolised him. You just look at the tributes from around the world. He's touched millions and millions of people, and from different countries around the world, celebrities, you name it. He's such a loyal guy. He's always stuck by me. Every time I've engaged with him in any ways, he's always asked us to come for a beer, come to dinner, help us, give advice. He always just wanted to help, and that was Shane. And he's going to be dearly missed. We're going to be missing rocking up to the ground and hearing his stories. And he's just such a likable guy. And Australia is obviously worse off with him leaving us.
Is there any particular Warney story everyone's been telling, hundreds over the last few days? Is there any particular one on or off the field that you particularly enjoy with him that you wouldn't mind sharing?
I think one of the funniest moments I think everyone's seen this is when we were in Africa and he was there and he was caught snoozing in the change room, because that same morning we didn't know where he was. We were about to leave for the bus, and out rocks Warney from the doors of the hotel, still buttering his peanut butter toasted sandwich. So, they're little things away from cricket that are funny to us, because that's obviously things that people don't see besides when he fell asleep on TV at the ground.
Peter Lawler, please.
Good morning, Dave. 2 things. One, what would you say to your cricket playing colleagues around the world about the prospect of touring Pakistan? 2, what was your assessment of the pitch? It's become quite an issue.
Yeah, look, I've obviously, we went to Islamabad first, and I've got nothing but great words to say about the place. It's amazing. It's you got the scenery, the mountains in the background from the hotel. You can see it from the ground. You can see it. The people were absolutely amazing. They engaged not just the Pakistan team but us as well. They were cheering for both teams, and I think they were just overall excited that cricket was back played in Pakistan. Obviously, there's a lot of people to thank to get this tour up and about with Cricket Australia, the PCB, the military and the police force to make sure everything's safe and sound, and we applaud them for that, and we're grateful for this opportunity. From our point of view on the pitch, obviously it was a bit benign. Only 14 wickets were taken, but at the end of the day, I think the curators obviously did the best that they could do, and we just have to move on from that wicket and see what was produced here in Karachi.
Faizan Lakhani, please.
Thanks.
Hi, thanks. My question was actually about the wicket as well. What sort of wicket are you setting, David, in Karachi after that wicket in Rawalpindi? And also, if you could share if there is any medical related updates from your camp.
Yeah, look, as I said about the wicket, there's going to be a variety of challenges. It's the unknown. Obviously, us coming here, we don't know what to expect. We didn't have a warm-up game. We're pretty much thrown into obviously having some practice on wickets that were turning, and then obviously out in the middle it was quite flat and didn't really offer anything, to be honest. I think you look at our first innings, a lot of poor dismissals. I feel like coming here to Karachi, we have our first hit in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we'll be able to try and sort of assess then. And that's all I've pretty much got on the wickets. I didn't get your last question. I didn't understand.
It was about if there is any medical related updates from your camp.
Medical updates?
Yes. There have been rumors that there are some positives. If you could confirm or deny, if you have heard anything.
Or I literally haven't been outside my bedroom this morning, so I don't have any answer for that. Sorry.
No worries.
Andrew Ramsey, please.
Oh, hi, David. Just on a slightly different tack, the ICC announced the changes to the run-out law at the bowler's end, sort of to demystify that a bit. I know you've made a couple of pointed statements, maybe not speaking, but just in actions in the past. I just wondered what your thoughts were on that change and what that might mean.
I still think the history of the game suggests that it's a spirit of cricket thing. You don't expect players to do that. I do agree with the fact that if you are backing up and you're out of your crease by a long way, especially I think it probably more happened predominantly in the end of a white ball 50 over game, or obviously in 2020 cricket we've seen it. So look, at the end of the day, as a batsman, you've got to stay in your crease. There's no doubt about that. And I think if you're silly enough to, if you are to get caught out like that and run out, that's your own fault as a batsman. You're told not to leave before the bowlers let the ball go. So just don't do it. I think what's important for the game of cricket is that bowlers don't be looking for that, because then you're going to slow the game down even more. And then, I know before being a captain, it can be frustrating, and you're taking time out of the game. So I think there's some areas there that needs to be addressed. That's each individual basis as well.
Raj, please.
Hi, Dave. Just a couple of hours before Shane Warne's body left Thailand, and it should arrive in Australia a bit later, you said you're going to make it to the memorial service at MCG. Can you just talk a bit of that? How would that memorial service be, and how emotional would it be for players who are going to attend?
It's definitely going to be extremely emotional for everyone. As I said, it really hasn't sunk in with us. And obviously there'll be a big, huge contingent of Victorians obviously being hosted at the MCG. There'll be lots and lots of people come out to pay their respects. You've seen all the flowers and even cigarettes and beers placed on the Warney statue at the MCG. It just shows you how many people he's touched and how many people are feeling it right now around the world. And yeah, definitely I'll be trying to get down there, for that. I think we do arrive back home, and I think on the 27th or 28th. So I think it's important as a player, and obviously past players were there as well to recognise that. And obviously we've got Rod Marsh's funeral, which will be taking place as well, I think before that as well. So we're not going to be home for that, but I'm sure we'll be tuning in online if we can.
Eddie Summerfield, please. Eddie, are you there?
Sorry about that, guys. David, thanks so much for your time. Pat the other day was hinting at perhaps 2 spinners for the second test. Is that something you'd like to see and is likely that we will see in this Australian 11 for the next game?
Yeah, look, the selection's obviously up to the selectors and what they feel is the best team going into the game. As I said previously, it was the unknown of what the wicket was going to do in Islamabad. We haven't obviously yet seen what the wicket is like here in Karachi, so I'm sure they'll assess that and then they'll make their decisions based on what they see.
Adris Malik, please.
Thank you, Brian. David, definitely you are enjoying the Pakistan tour. And what sort of pitch you are expecting from the Karachi, and is there any hope, any wish for you? Because number of fans you have in Pakistan, and especially after Pindi Test, there is more and more you are getting. Is there anything in any wish in your mind that you will make a century at Karachi?
From a batsman's point of view, you can roll the same one as Islamabad, and hopefully I don't get out. But that's not what we want from a cricketing point of view. You want something to obviously to break up, be something there for the spinners, a little bit more sort of it wasn't turning as much. You saw Nathan Lyon, when he was hitting that rough, it wasn't doing anything. It was just pretty much going straight on, slow off the wicket. It wasn't any like that variable bounce, which you generally do see on worn wickets. And as I said just before, we don't know what we're expecting here in Karachi until we rock up and see the wicket. But I just want a game where you can actually create 20 chances. It's something that's going to be exciting and entertaining for the crowd.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brian.
Wajahat Kazmi, please.
Hi, David. I hope you're having a good tour of Pakistan and wishing you a very warm welcome to Karachi. Since you guys have now played the first test match where the pitch didn't have much to offer for the bowlers, but with the Karachi test coming ahead that is expected to feature a spin-friendly track, how does Australia see tackling the likes of Noman Ali and Sajid Khan?
Yeah, look, I think it's the way that we addressed him in the first test. As I said, there's a few dismissals that, obviously batsman error. So from our point of view, we'd obviously got to wait to see what the surface is like. And depending on if it's turning off the straight or if it's just out of the rough, I think then you assess as a batsman when you're out there. So everyone's got their game plan and everyone will stick to their game plan. And as I said, we have to wait to assess the Karachi wicket. And it's very difficult to say anything about it, especially, if you win the toss and bat first and you got pretty much a bare wicket to bat on before it starts taking any turns. So obviously that's toss dependent from a batting stance.
2 more questions now, please. Imran Siddiqui and Husaifa Khan. Imran first, please.
Hello, David. David, I think you are one of the most loved Australian cricketer in Pakistan, and Pakistani fans often want you to see in PSL. Do you have any future plans to play in Pakistan Super League?
Unfortunately, when the Pakistan Super League's on, I'm actually playing international cricket, so it's very difficult for me to come and play in that.
Last question now, please. Husaifa Khan.
Thanks and welcome to Karachi, David Warner. First of all, my question is related to Shaheen Afridi and Naseem Shah. You have a good time with them in Rawalpindi. How difficult was them to face on already a dead pitch in Rawalpindi, and how challenging it will be to face them in Karachi, because Shaheen Afridi is on top right now. And would you got some dance move for Karachi as well? Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's too difficult to face the faster bowlers on a wicket like that. There's no pace, there's no bounce. So, I think if reverse swing comes into play, then it might be a little bit different. It's not offering anything at all besides probably a sore back for the fast bowlers and sore feet. So from a batting point of view against fast bowlers, it's not really the challenge itself. I think maybe the first 6 balls when the ball's brand new. Dance moves, we'll have to wait and see. I'll see what bag of tricks I've got before I pull out some more.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Dave.